It's real. I've held it in my own two hands, and it is awesome. Hello, my friends. My name is Jake. Welcome to Returning Retro, where we talk about some vintage tech, some retro tech, but above all, intentional technology use. And I have a very special episode for you today. I had the super unexpected opportunity to meet up with the founders of the Minimal Company, Andre and Armin. We got together, we went out and grabbed some food, and wouldn't you know it, they had just gotten back from a factory visit, and they had with them their prototype early development samples of the Minimal Phone 2. And my friends, I was blown away. So we're just going to dive right into it. I don't have one with me. They didn't have enough to send with me. I tried to get one, but in any case, no, they were super great about it. But I wanted to share with you my first impressions, some observations I made about the device. So let's just dive right into it. First, build quality. My friends, picking this thing up for the first time, it was kind of a surreal experience. One, it is small. I don't know exactly dimensions wise. It's smaller than a BlackBerry Classic, or for those that have the newer Zinwa Q25 revision. It's smaller, and it feels a lot smaller. I think it is a little smaller, but it feels a lot smaller. Build quality wise, the frame of the device is some kind of a brushed metal, and you notice it, and you just picking it up. I mean, it's hard to even compare it to the Minimal Phone 1, the MP01. You notice it when you feel it. It was light. It was compact, but holding it, using it to type on, it didn't feel too small either. So the other thing, it was incredibly thin. I don't know if this is just because I've been using the Titan 2 Elite a lot over the last couple of weeks, but I was expecting it to be a little bit chunky, and chunky it is not. It is surprisingly thin. The sharp edges issue that plagued the Minimal Phone 1, gone. The renders, you can't really tell as much, and it's really just on the edges, but because the device is so small, you feel it more because of just the very edges of the device are rounded. The screen, now, okay, I'll admit, this is a bit of a controversial choice that they made. I'm going to try and get him to come on the podcast, and we can talk about it a little bit more. But the e-paper display is not present on the Minimal Phone 2. They went a different direction with this. I personally am one that doesn't mind this. I know that some people are not a fan of it, but I can say it's a gorgeous display. I believe OLED. It was very responsive. I honestly had no complaints with it whatsoever. Going around the hardware, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the top, where it belongs, in my opinion. You had the kill switch, or I'm not exactly sure what use cases will be for that, but kind of like the old OnePlus phones and the old iPhones, you've got that kill switch, silent switch, whatever it ends up being used for is there. Fingerprint scanner and power button is on the right of the device, and then the volume rocker is on the left side of the device when the device is facing you. I really like that design choice. The other thing I wanted to talk about really briefly is the completely revamped Minimal launcher. So this is something, and I think I saw Charlie, the dev, had made a comment about this. I don't remember if it was on Reddit or on a blog post or in the Discord server, but they started from the ground up. It did a complete rebuild of the Minimal launcher, and it's really, really good. The keyboard, if you liked the Minimal Phone 1's keyboard, I think that you're going to love this one. Obviously, the device is a lot smaller, and so the keyboard is proportionately smaller, but I felt the keycaps felt a little bit better. The keycap geometry is no longer flat. That's what I'm trying to say. And you can feel it. They've also, I think, rounded the corners of the keycaps a little bit in comparison to the first generation, which I thought was like a nice addition to it. So I really like how they've kind of positioned it as a device that can be, if you want it to be sort of a do-everything device with full Android, you can, but they also have implemented on their side in the software the availability for some ways to help you curb distractions. So you can have it as a minimalist device, an intentional tech type of a device, or if you're not wanting to, you can have it as a very compact, QWERTY, regular Android smartphone. I think we're gonna call it there, guys. What questions do you have about the Minimal Phone 2? I'm excited, guys. The QWERTY, the keyboard phone renaissance continues, and I'm loving that with every passing year, we are having more options for keyboard phones as opposed to less, as had been the case for years. Stay tuned, more to come.